Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's my honor to be greeting you. And I was bringing this message of emancipation to you, pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. That is why I want to speak to you concerning creating your ideal life intentionally. And when you really get to understand who you are, you would realize that there are those who do not know who they are, and they do not know what is the ideal life that they want to create, because they do not know that they can create. As a matter of fact, the people of which I'm speaking about who do not know who they are, they actually believe in a creator outside of themselves. They actually believe that God is a man in the sky. They also believe that there was one special man who had a special birth over 2,000 years ago, who's supposed to be their savior and their healer. But I'm saying to you, you can create your ideal life intentionally if you know that it is your own thoughts that is creating your personality, creating your reality. If you believe that simple words of wisdom concerning understanding your own mentality, then you would realize I would have just given you a key that can open the door to abundance and prosperity in your life. Or you can take that key and never use that key and remain in mediocrity, remain in lack, and with a poverty mentality. Now, in order to shape or create your ideal life, you have to understand that when you close your eyes and see things through your mind's eye, that you are forming images. And those images that you're forming to use in your imagination, you realize that is happening because the creator in man is actually man's imagination. And you look around and you realize that everything that you see that has ever been invented or created, it was first imagined. It was first a thought. It was first an idea. That is why it is called someone's brainchild. So you realize that just as you can bring forth from below, you can bring forth from above. And when it is happening or taking place from above, it is happening in the psychological, spiritual realm. So if you want to get in touch with the spiritual realm, to be able to create, you have to understand that the portal in which it happens is through the psychological science of the mind. Now, when you realize that your brain is a transmitter and a receiver of frequency, you will also understand why our ancestor has been always giving us signs that we are to be the Lord and Master of our own destiny. When they would leave the symbol that says, man, know thyself. And that is why our ancestor Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, was willing to teach Neville Goddard how he can create his ideal life intentionally. So when Neville had that desire to see his family, and he had no work and he had no money, Abdullah taught him how to use his creativity or his true God power, which is his creative power, the power of imagination, that every one of us has been given to use, and to use wisely. Now, many of us have been using this power ignorantly because of the way we were raised to believe in a God, our creator, our savior outside of ourselves. So in short, I'm saying many of us were brainwashed to live in poverty and lack and not able to create our ideal life because we believe that the Bible is literal and that the Bible is secular history. But I have good news for you by letting you know that Abdullah And Neville Goddard, that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. And that is the only how we can understand the Bible to free yourself from mental slavery and get out of the realm of lack and poverty and come into prosperity. That's the only how you'll be able to apply faith by knowing who you are. Because if you do not have an understanding of the visible world and the invisible world, you would not know how to create in the visible world. So my brother and my sisters, poverty constitutes a lack of imagination, or poverty of imagination. It means that you are blind of your own ability, of your own creativity, which means you are crippled in your will, in your perception, in your memory, in your reasoning, in your intuition, and in your imagination, which means you're not operating in the mental faculties that you're born in this world with. You're taking on the characteristics of what the system has given to you. Therefore, you're living your life as a slave. That is why you are no good in the world if you are not uplifting or being of value to humanity. Because remember, the key to prosperity is having an understanding that your rewards in life would always add up to the same equation of your contribution and your service. For what you give to this world, you will receive unto yourself. And that is why, my brother and my sisters, you have to go in to your mind's eye. Go into your higher self, knowing that true prayer is desire and meditation. And form within your mind the ideal life that you so desire and would like to be remembered. Say to yourself, how may I serve? Say to yourself, how many people's life can I influence? Because giving equals receiving. So my brother, my sisters, you can want to manifest all the things in the world. The most important thing is to understand that you can have the ideal life intentionally if you understand the principle of giving and receiving. If you understand how powerful you are and willing to put that power to achieve your every desire. For it wasn't until Nevill was willing to put that power to work in his life that Abdullah was teaching him that he was able to prove for himself that he can create his ideal life. That's why, my brother and my sisters, if you're listening to me, I'm saying to you, in spite of all the things you will hear me say, remember, action speaks louder than words. Practice meditation every day. Practice visualization every day and affirmation. And learn to understand how powerful you are by putting that creative power to work in your life. Do not be like one who looks in a mirror and forget the manner of man that he or she is. And go away just being a hearer and not a doer. So it is my encouragement for you, for us to work together. The only how you can prove that you believe what I am teaching, it is for you putting it to work in your life. And you have a testimonial. You have a testimony. You are a witness. When you have a witness, then when you are a witness, then you'll be able to help others to become witnesses also. I have proven this over and over and over and over. And the greatest thing is that I have come to understand and to discover my true identity is my divinity. And I know, hadn't it been for that experience, I wouldn't have been here serving you, reaching out to you and asking of you to be more disciplined, be more focused, and make sure to do something every day to better yourself. There's no one you can look to, because politicians cannot get it done for you. Religious ministers cannot do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. You can never get your freedom from religion. You can never get your freedom from politics. You got to get your freedom from understanding that true salvation is self-realization, and you have to be the one that can redeem yourself. No one else can redeem you. You are the kinsman redeemer. Take your position, take your stance, and prove for yourself that imagination creates reality. That's a challenge to you, my brothers and my sisters. So, with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, if you believe in the work that was done between Abdullah and Neville Goddard, you see that he was given instruction and he followed the instruction. You always hear people like Bob Proctor always say, this man spoke to me and he said, if you do exactly what I told you to do, what do you think they're talking about? You hear all these men saying all of these things. What do you think they're talking about? So my brother and my sisters, I think I would have said enough. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying makes sense to you, really resonating with you, and you want to see what Neville would have taught and what you would have learned from Abdullah and want to see it work in your life, my encouragement to you is, if you want to continue walking in this kind of light and you haven't subscribed already, to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. But just before I leave you, I must remind you that this message I bring to you, as usual, it is the single, yes, the single message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if I be single, your whole body will be full of light. And my brother and my sister, it doesn't matter what you attain in this life, unless you awake from the base of your spine and bust your crown chakra and become invisible and discover your higher self, you will never come to realize why I always say to you that the Bible is the S-U-N book, the Sun book, and we are the people of the Sun. For the Sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the Sun. And truly, without the Sun, there is no life and there is no light. Not without Jesus. Jesus is a lie. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And the Son has never withhold any good thing from humanity. For the Son powers all of humanity and give humanity its energy. And that is why, as the rain is coming down, I want to say to you to remember to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your God power, your creative power, which is actually sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire. For that was the message that was taught to Neville Goddard by our ancestor, Abdullah. So with that being said, and the rain is down, I want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.